Hello there, Nolan. How are you? We have just entered Pumptober. Let's begin. All right. Now, we're going to have to speak about the cycle ahead, friends. This whole video is about the cycle ahead, and we have to prepare for 2025 because it's all a bunch of astrology. We don't know. All we know is kind of crypto goes up over time. They're printing money, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to now discuss, friends, the blueprint here of what we have for PulseChain. Now, I've covered this in my Juicy News, but this is critically important from today. Why? Because this is the last time, officially, you'll actually be able to really change your life without taking on an enormous amount of leverage. We're actually leaving the zone, and it's about to happen. But if we don't go as high as everyone thinks, what's going to happen from that point? Well, now you got to be another cycler, don't you? I'm going to go through some targets here, friends. And remember, we are just guessing. There's no bull or bear or fart or whatever, okay? But in a nutshell, we might not get 2025 to be as euphoric as we want. That's a possibility. But there is another possibility where we do go more euphoric, okay? So what I'm going to now do, show you now is we have to explore the possibility of this 2025 event, right? And I have Pulse. So this, you can apply this Pulse, PulseChain, PulseX, HEX, Chainlink, Polkadot, Solana, whatever the hell you want, okay? It's all the same, okay? And it basically all stems off the others index. So if you go to TradingView and you type in others, friends, you'll get the chart here, TradingView. Now, what we did in the last cycle was others, friends, from the very bottom, from the very top to the bottom here, okay? Or you might even draw from the zombie virus crash, okay? What ends up happening is we do this retracement. Doesn't really matter. We actually pop all the way up to the 4.236, okay? So what I might now do is go back to, say, this cycle and just show you how, oh my gosh, this is a whopper of a move. I mean, this is what we did in 2016. You see, I just want to show you, look at this. We went absolutely, see, we went to the 4.236 and then we went up and up and up. This is wild. This was Ethereum being birthed, friends. So we went up here. I mean, this is absolutely wild. I mean, like we come up here and look, we do another 4.236. And then, oh my gosh, up here, it did another zone up here. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, that was 2016, 2017. That was crossing the chasm. That was the technological adoption curve, the biggest crypto wave we saw. And it's witnessed right here. Okay, this is the chart of technology adoption. See what I just showed you, that big one? That was crossing the chasm, which was, of course, the chasm, that's right. That was around there. And we're not going to see that again. And you know why? I mean, like, we made Ethereum another blue chip unicorn. Now, we're going to see, there will be individual coins and groups that do well. But as a whole sector, look, it's literally impossible to do that, friends. We grew from, I think, 3 billion market cap for altcoins to 300 billion. That's what happened. Now, let's go back to today, friends. I mean, like, even in our previous cycle, right, we hit the 4.236 fib. So you already see we're slowing down how much we hit them. We are slowing down how much we hit them. You want to know what's great, though? In this zone, we went above the 4.236. We actually went and hit above it, all right? Why is that nice? It's nice because it shows the odds of us hitting the 4.236 extension. It's nice. It's a good chance. And let's actually look at where that 4.236 extension is for altcoins right now. It would be around 1 trillion market cap for the altcoins, the others index. Now, exactly from today, what I'm going to do is just measure it exactly from today, friends, all the way up here. It's that's 4.6x. 4.6. All right. Now, obviously, there's going to be some waves here. But this is the area you got to start thinking about things. All right. You're going to have to start thinking about stuff because it's not going to go like that. It's going to do at least this, friends. And if it's going to get this, then it's going to be very painful back down here. Okay. And it comes back to this zone. I mean, like, even if you go back to the previous zone, look what we end up doing, friends. See this previous high up here? This is what happens in a bear market. Okay. It came back down to that previous high. However, if we don't go up as high, or even if we do, friends, look, we still come back down here. And I just want to show you, if we come up here, come back down here, you think, oh, that looks great on a chart. No, 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 no. Look at this. This is dropping 50%, which means most of the altcoins that went up a lot, they're going to drop like 80%. The example I'm going to use here is PulseChain. Now, Chainlink dropped like 65%. PulseChain, PulseX, HEX dropped like 85%. So even though others here is 50, don't be confused, because look at this. This was also 50. Look at this. This dropped around, see, here you go, about 50% here. It nicked down here in the Japan Pokemon Island crisis. So you can see right now. So you're getting an idea of that whole index moving away. Is that it's because it includes EOS and stuff that don't move up as much, so they don't have as much as a retracement. So let's actually look up here, friends. And what I'm now going to just show you is, okay, we have this target up here. So this is, okay, you do about, let's just say number 4. That's 4 for all those coins in the top, outside of top 10 in the top 100. So you can see what they are right now. So if you go to rank 11, that includes Tron, 13 billion. And then you go all the way, everything under that, 700 million. So 13 billion down to like, you know, 400 million-ish, okay? Because they're the ones that impact that index enough, all right? So as long as you got that number 4 in your mind now, what does that mean? 4. It's others moving up 4. That others index moving 4. Remember, you're looking for slingshot leverage on others. And others itself is slingshot leverage on Ethereum, which is slingshot leverage on Bitcoin. You see, because we've done our research, we go along the belly of the curve, and we obviously want to put in more effort because we want higher returns, okay? So this is the PulseChain price chart. So you can go to all your coins, friends. I mean, like, there's going to be a range, okay? So if I'll write it down here, if the index does 4, okay, then the winner will do anywhere from, like, you know, hopefully 8 to, let's just say, 40, okay? And then the loser will do, like, you know, 2 to 4. Pretty much it. But actually, you're going to feel like you got gypped, even if you got a 6 from today. You're going to feel like you got wrecked. Okay, so there you go. That's a big range, right? You go, oh, so you're telling me you could do anywhere from 2x to 40x. I know. That's crazy. It is crazy, okay? But that's markets, right? That's the expectations here. So what I'm now going to do is just show you what I did. So, you know, in this period here, others, so we're talking about from September 2023 up to March this year where we peaked. You see, we peaked and went euphoria up here, and everyone got angry at me because I said, oh, crap, we might have stopped. Well, in this period, others went up 3x. So it literally did a 200%. And now I'm just going to show you that right now. Okay, so others did a 3x. And you can grab it here and you can look at this now. Let's have a look here. We have others from September up here. It does around, see that? 200%. So what you can then do is, just as a, go to your altcoins. And you go, oh, okay, if others did 3x, what did my altcoin that I'm looking at do from that September to March period? And then if you look at PulseChain, PulseX, HEX and stuff, the ecosystem did around a 6. Okay, they did around a 6. That's how much they peaked. If I remember correctly, PulseX did 9, Pulse did like 6 or 5, and then HEX did like a 4. Right, but it's hard to move all the ratios around in your head, so just keep them constant, okay, just to make it simple. So you can now kind of reverse engineer. You go, all right, if we're looking at the target to be around 1 trillion for that others, which means a move of like 4, then we're going to do like what we did based off the past. We did about like 2 to 2.2, whatever the others index did. So it overperformed that. And obviously you get that with deep value, contrarian, on-chain, not as exposed, yada, yada. And by the way, it was sold off heaps as well. So it's not really nice. It was just that September last year were like wrecked, yeah? Just starting from a wrecked point. So if you do the others match, you match up what PulseChain would get, where you're kind of like, okay, we're at a zone where, doesn't mean we stop, man. It just means like, okay, this is a zone of interest, a big zone of interest. It would be on this chart up here. So we rise from today, we rise about a 9x and we reach Pulse to be 7x day one sack. So you go to Pulse, PulseX, EHEX, PX Inc. Just even EHEX, whatever it is, just do a flat 9x from today. And just for fun, you might even throw it up as a 10x because there could be a wick up, which is what happened with PulseX and Pulse on that day. And that was from Richard Hart. He sent $14 million in to buy PulseX and it just got instantly rejected. Okay, so I'll now draw it out again just so you can see the path here. So it's going up 9x from today will be around up here. Here you go, 6 to 7x. Now, also funny, it lands right under where Eric Wall's bet is. Remember, Eric's got like $50,000 worth of bets. He said that Pulse, within 2 years of launch, will not be 10x above day one sack. And if it does go up, he's got to pay KDP and other people. And if it stays down, they have to pay him. Okay, so this number up here, I think it has to go up there and close for a month or something. I forgot what it was. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun, whatever happens, right? Now, up here, I know you're looking at this line, but it's important to look at it on a linear chart because this is what it's actually going to look like. It's going to look like big green thrusting candles. Whee! It's going to look like something like that. Whee! And now you're up here. Okay, you see that? But now what? Okay, now what? So that's where we have to prepare. I'm just telling you, at that point, I want you to imagine your portfolio today, friends. Some of you got $10,000 in there, and some people just have the core coins, and that's okay. Because remember, the altcoins are going to do slingshot leverage on that. So if Pulse does 10, you're going to see other stuff do like 30, 40, 50, 100. Something's going to do 100 on PulseChain ecosystem. Okay. So if you do a 10x from today, are you happy? Okay. Are you happy and are you retired? I want you to think about that for yourself. If you do like a 9 or 10x from today, would you get out all of it? And trust me, you're not going to be able to find a single person who's going to tell you to get out anything. No one. Okay. How do I know? Oh, I wasn't getting out in March, but I just said, could be over from here. Like, old season could be over for the year. Man, friends, you guys held my feet to the fire. And all I was doing was just showing the altcoin season index, which is this. All I did was I just showed this chart, friends. And I said, oh, wow, we've hit the top of the chart. And we've started to come back down under it already by March. Old season could be over. I just said it could be over for the year. Get him! Everyone straight away. My gosh, everyone lost their freaking minds. My gosh, friends, like I mentioned it to you before. I'm serious, man. My name typing sommi in other Telegram channels was banned because of that. Whoa, whoa. Just was like showing a chart. All right, now continuing. If we got to this part, friends, so I drew it here, right? This nice, see this 7x day one sack? I've written above it, Bitcoin 100K, because I just feel like, okay, Bitcoin, friends, if it's going to actually trap people, I don't think it's going to be the buy trap, because everybody's looking for the buy trap. I think it's going to be a sell trap. But how's it going to give him a sell trap? Well, this is what it would look like it would be, okay, if you're curious. Bitcoin goes up around the 100K, right? And then we stop and we come back down. Now it's back down to 70K. You see this back down? We're actually back down around here. And in this zone, friends, I'm telling you right now, everyone's getting out. Everyone's getting out. But if we get this scenario, I'm not convinced it's over. I'm not convinced it's over. Because, why? I don't feel in my nipples and my groins and my pointy elbows, I just don't feel like a $100,000 retailer Bitcoin number is the end, such that we get there and reject off and retailers get to sell. I don't think that. I don't think the game works like that. And I've been in this game, and I was born for this game. The game doesn't work like that. But remember, we're not there yet. It's a moving target. You know, what if retailers are bullish at 70K? Then we're like, oh crap, we're going down to 40. You see, so that's what it would look like. Okay, so it could happen, man. We literally could get that. Okay, we could get that. I hope we don't get that, but I'm just feeling like If Bitcoin got to 100 and then dropped down to 70, I'll just see it in my mind. I could just see everyone, Bitcoin rejects 100K. It's all over. See you later in 3.5 years bear market. I can just taste this fluffy microphone and I could feel it, friends. I've been dreaming about 100K Bitcoin, the retailer trap sell rejection since 2019. Since I literally, friends, when I was a wee little pup down here. I've been dreaming about the 100K number, right? Not the 100K to sell, but the 100K for the retailers to get out. So that's why if we go back to the PulseChain chart, hitting around here, right? By the way, it's not going to just go there and then come back down to 70 and like, you don't get that, okay? It does what it did before, which is rounding off, pushing, thrust. Like, I know, just prepare you, man. Look what happened here. Do you remember up here, friends? This was Donald Trump coming out and telling you, hey, I like Bitcoin and stuff, right? So if we're up over 100, if we actually do go up to 100, okay, it's possible, man. We shoot up to 105, come back down to 90, 85, and then it shoots up to like 115, but that's a rejection, okay? That's possible. And everyone really thinks it's over before we actually go up. Okay? So I'm just preparing you that you're not going to get like this perfect number to see and to witness and to make a decision off. You can't do that. What comes next though, this is why I'm making this video for you, friends. And what I'm going to do now is we'll play some actual cranky G music. All right. I want you to focus on this 80% drop part. So PulseChain, if something does a 10x from today and drops 80%, it's your 2x from today, okay? But at that bottom part. But the price, if you look closely, the prices we'll be getting are where we were in Feb, March this year. So I'm asking you personally, everyone's different. Were you happy with your portfolio number in March this year? So when PulseChain and PulseChain, and I'm talking about every altcoin, okay? Every altcoin, okay? Were you happy up here? I'm not saying happy in terms of sell everything and retire. Of course not. I'm just saying, were you like mentally okay? Were you like, financially, you're like, yeah, I could do a few more years. Maybe got some credit card bills and stuff. You're handling them, whatever they are. Okay, I'm just asking you from a personal standpoint. You have to assess that yourself. If you were still in disaster mode here, okay, so whatever your portfolio is there, if you still feel like it's been really, really disappointing for you, then I'm gonna, in a non-financial advice way, tell you if it was me, I'd be buying a shitload more coins right now. That's what I'd be doing, okay? That's what I'd be doing. And I would put it in a stack separately, and that's my stack to sell when everything goes like 7x from here, okay? Now, I want to say 9 or 10, but what if it stops beforehand, okay? That's what I'll do. And then that gives you the buffer, okay? So as an example, let's say you're doing it tough. Let's say you only had, let's say you had $10,000 up here. Okay, let's say you had $10,000 and you're doing it tough. Well, I would personally do something like throw $2,000 in now. Yeah. Let's say 2 or 3 grand. Try throwing 2-3 grand. DCA as much as you can, like, because we're running out of time. And then if you get like a 7x pop from here, right? If you get a 7x pop up to 6.7x day one sack, you have to say to yourself, hey man, I'm going to get out this portion. Not your core, just that portion. You're going to pay taxes and pay yourself. Pay yourself. Because that's your fuel. Those are your strawberries. Those are your bananas to live to fight another day in case 2025 is a dark prophecy turnout year. Maybe they try to sabotage Donald Trump if he wins. You know what I mean? Maybe the economy cracks a bit hard and they got to reset stuff. You see? So I'm just helping prepare you for this. Because here's the thing, man. You can't prepare next year. You can't even prepare in about 30 days. We're running out of time, okay? Because if you see that 7x you're thinking about, okay, well, if this thing just pops up here, you ain't getting your 7, you're not getting up your 9 or 10x anymore. Look at this. Up here, you're only getting a 5. And if you still don't want it there and you have to get in here, okay, look where it is from here. How much are you getting? Okay, you're getting a 3. See, so you have to go in harder and harder up there if you want to make the most of it. Now, personally, obviously for me, I'm okay, friends. You saw I was happy in February, March. You're like, yeah, I could live with that. Yeah, because all I'm doing is just protecting in case we don't hit full peak euphoria. Okay, that's what I'm saying. We can get happy, but look, if we drop 80% from that moment, we actually go back to this level up here. And it's I hate to say it, but it always works out like this, friends. You always see these, like you have a big move up and then you have to like retest this area. You see that? Markets, they usually like to come back and go, boop, okay, now we're ready to go. You see that retest? I'll actually show you now on the others index. We actually did the same thing on the others index right now. So it's actually wonderful that we have this. Look at this. See markets, friends? We had the zone here. See this zone? We had 1, 2. We actually popped up here. Look at them do it. Come back, retest, come back, crash back into it. And we do that. Markets, that they just tend to do these things. You just see like you could draw these lines. Support becomes resistance. You pop up through them, and it's like before they can continue, they have to come back and just take a stab there. They just come back, they stop everyone out and take a stab here. Like you literally draw this line. Look at this, comes back up, little retest, comes back up, bang. You see? So that's why on PulseChain I drew the same thing, just in case we get it. Okay, just in case he gets it, comes back down, and then we continue. Now, if you look, what I'm saying, none of that's controversial. And I know none of that's controversial. And we're not going to get the answer yet. Because the next part's the controversial part. So us stopping there, that's not really controversial. Because the whole ecosystem, friends, for PulseChain, at this number here, if you're curious, all right, right now it's about 3 billion, friends, for all of the, for PulseX, HEX Peaked, it's 3 billion. So if I showed you this chart, and I'm like, hey, we go up to 30 billion. That's not controversial at all. Why? HEX peaked around 50 billion in 2021. Okay, HEX market cap. Think about it as Richard Hart's market cap. It peaked at 50 billion. So if we, in the next pop, if we go back to 30, this is like literally every single standard chart you've ever seen in crypto. And let me show you now. Look at XRP. So XRP in 2018 hit 127 billion. If you draw the fib, look where it came up and hit. See, friends, it hit 50% of the move, which is 66 billion. Do you see that? See how it hit, like literally came halfway in the move. Look at Tron as well. I'll show you Tron's market cap as well. TRX market cap. Look at this, friends. Same thing. TRX actually hit up here, and look, it came back to the 50% zone. See that? That's the second one. There are so many others I could show you. Like, hey, friends, this is where like you could be optimistic. Even EOS, okay, even EOS's market cap, which I'll show you now. Here we are for EOS. EOS, friends, in the previous cycle, right here, look, it came back and hit the 50%. You see that? In the final month. See, May 2021? Even EOS hit it. Okay, so like, you're seeing this common pattern, right? But then, I mean, like, look, you can have what I just showed you before, right? What about Cardano? Okay, see, ADA market cap is going to be interesting because Cardano, friends, okay, look, it did not hit 50% retrace. It went and broke it for like a 2x. So this would be, if you're looking at this would be roughly 150 billion market cap for the Richard Heart ecosystem. So this would be 150 billion. All right. And yeah, so it'd be around 150 billion. So instead of basically okay, let's do the real numbers. That would be like, instead of doing 10 from today, everything does around 30 to 40. Big differences, right? Everyone knows HEX, right? So HEX, if HEX just meets that retracement, so the conservative number where we retrace 50%, where PulseChain ecosystem hits 30 billion, combined HEX would be around 16 cents. Around 16 cents. So you can see now how if the whole ecosystem boomed up together. Remember, this is assuming all the ratios are the same. Okay, because someone could always play with the ratios. Someone could always play with the ratios, push HEX to $1, make Pulse go down, whatever. But it was moving it all together. If HEX was really going to, say, get a fib extension with everything else in the whole ecosystem, you'll do 16 times 4. You get like a 64-cent HEX. Right? And then you imagine that, man. You've been earning yield the whole time if you're staked as well. So you can see there's a different range of outcomes here. And, once again, we don't know what happens. But so if I go back here, right, this right here, this 10x, that is the retrace of the whole ecosystem. Okay, that's 30 billion. Because you go, okay, well, HEX hit 50. Real numbers 45, September 2021. Now it comes back to retrace. Now it's up to the believers where you think, okay, we should grow more than 2021. That's where the controversial part is. Why? Because if you sell here, right, friends, I mean, like, no one's going to sell here. I'm just like, this is the markets, okay? The next part is that scary part, the 80% drop. If you're thinking about selling there and you're wrong, I promise you're going to live long enough to regret it. I promise you will live, all of us, every single person who clicks sell. If you are still fading the ecosystem and it actually recovers, it's game. It's literally, you'll never get this opportunity ever again. But right now we have a big opportunity as well. Because like, you're going to look back and go, wait a minute. We now have PulseChain, PulseX. We've got 170,000 ETH in the wallet. We have 170 content creators, streamers, Matty Allen, 2 conferences a year. Why? You'd say to yourself, why did I sell the ecosystem at 30 billion when it was freaking 50 billion in 2021? Why? That's all you're going to... And it's not going to stop at 50 when it punches up. It probably goes to that 100, 200, who knows, okay? This, friends, is that next difficult part. Because this is where pretty much everyone in crypto is going to be fighting with each other. Why? This 80% drop is unorthodox. Because crypto stays down for much longer than that. You look at this time frame of this, okay? We basically have half of 2025, it's garbage, and we start to rotate up towards 2026. If you look at the long-term chart, it looks like a super cycle. It doesn't feel like one, though, because you have these big fat corrections. So, look, if you think about this pattern, we went up this year, we drop 80%. What if we go up into next year, we drop 80% again? What if? And then what if that final third wave comes and that's the top? So I want you to think about that's been happening so far, right? But obviously you're taking the punt now that it will continue. Now, friends, in my post here, I mentioned a month ago, I made a video on my friend Armadillo. So Armadillo, friends, was on Ivan's show. Okay, so I don't even have a screenshot here. So Armadillo, he has his targets here, right? And Armadillo was really good. He literally picked the Ethereum and Bitcoin top. He's got like some model. And it's not super complicated. He just doesn't want to share it, which is good. I don't want him to share it. I don't want him to get influenced by anything. But he basically has a moderate scenario for Bitcoin at 170K. Conservative 100K. Okay, so it literally, this conservative scenario is where we could go next year. All right, but he has his bullish one, and his bullish one is, surprise, surprise, Richard Hart's 240K number. So this is Armadillo. Okay, so it's Armadillo's real name, and you have Ivan. So he went on the show, and I don't know why, just something is drawing me to Armadillo. I've looked at many people's targets. I go, just something is drawing me to him. And if I remember, friends, I'll read it here. I actually have my old post here. This is within the video. Remember, the crowd expects 120K BTC on average. So hitting 240K would be the weak spot of FOMO buyers. You know, so he also believes this could be a super cycle of sorts. And if I remember from the video, he basically was talking about the super cycle occurring such that it's a long, gruesome kick in the nuts in between. right? But then, you know, when like the people in like 10 years go, oh, wow, I just have to get long and stay long, you know? But you'd be like, hey, bro, you try hold through freaking 80% swings like every 16 days when Japan Pokemon Island's going to explode. So one thing that's drawing me to all of this is because, right? So if you want to just, I'll draw it for you again, okay? Before I go into what I'm talking about. It would be like a 10x move, friends. We stop around here. And then there is a of sorts. And then everyone here thinks 3.5 year bear market. They think it's over. Of course they're going to think it's over. Okay. They're going to think, oh yeah, it's over. Bitcoin hit 100K. It's game over. But for some reason, I can see that, man. I can just see something like that happening. I don't think we have this little crappy move. And, you know, unless there's big euphoria, friends. Remember, that could always happen. Because remember, what I'm planning is that we don't get the euphoria. Now, if you said to me that you can see the future and Richard Hart's coins don't stop at 30 billion valuation, if they went all the way up to 100 billion valuation, do you see this distance up here, this excess distance? That is, there you go, there's your bear market pretty much, okay? That is, like if you go up here to 100 billion, where's your 90% drop? It's funny, it comes back all the way here. It comes back all the way here. That's where your 95% drop is, okay? So you get to see this, right? It's like a drug, drinking too much, you know, the alcohol in your system. The more you drink, the bigger your hangover, right, with the partying. So you come down as well when all of these. So yeah, it depends where we stop. But here's the thing, man. If we stop here and we come back down, it's okay. You're not going to feel good though. And then we come back for round 2. I know, no one has all the answers. And that's why we look to our friend Pikachu wearing a Mario hat. That's right, Pikachu with a Mario hat. You see, everyone's just guessing. We know that. But I'm trying to just help you prepare. I want you to prepare mentally. Like I'm gonna start thinking about, because I'm telling this to you straight, friends. I'm gonna just keep thinking about myself. Okay, what would go to your portfolio and go do? Okay, what does 10 times look like? Okay, what does a 10 times look like? Just to be safe, do like 8. What does 8 times that number look like? Okay, then drop 80% from that number. Okay. Just think about that, you know. So some of you friends, that's why I'm telling you, I know exactly what's going to happen, okay? Some of you have 10 grand in your portfolio and it's going to become 80. It's going to become 80. And the influencers, because everyone's excited, man. It's not everyone wants, but it's the crowd. It's the crowd, okay? You might have 80 to 100 grand at the top because you have your altcoins and everything else with your core coins or whatever. And then people are going to say, we've just got started. There's another 10x to go. Because they're going to look at each individual coin and do that. And then you might sit on that 100K and you're going to be dreaming about, you don't even need that 10X. You're like, oh, I'd love like 500,000. Maybe you can buy like an apartment in your city or wherever you live, or 2 or whatever. You're like, oh, I'm dreaming of a 400,000 or 500,000. That's my retirement. I can lease it out and someone pays me rent for the rest of my life. You're thinking of that. But then that, you know, that 100K top, if we drop 80% from that, which I'll show you now, you're going to go from, so you have 10,000 today, becomes 100,000 up here, goes back all the way down to 20,000. I'm just helping you prepare for that moment. If you don't like that thought, if you don't trust yourself, you have to be, that's why, friends, I don't want you to sell parts of your bags, but if you can DCA add more, you've got to take some profit up here. You got to do something. You have to. The last thing I want is for all of us to make it, but everybody is spitting on me because I'm saying bull market's still on, and then I end up being right and you sold everything down here. I just don't want that scenario for you, okay? Because I care about you. I'm telling you now, you have 2 options. You can sell part of your stack here, but even I'm looking at myself like, I don't want to sell too early. I'm even saying that to myself. So I'm telling you, add more. If you're not happy with that number, okay, add more now. That's your selling stack. You pay tax on that and you do that, and you leave everything else, yield farming and doing whatever else is, okay? Because you got to remember, man, friends, when you're up here, you're dreaming of $500,000, but then you go back to 20K. Just think about that. You're like, man, I thought I was going to buy a unit or an apartment or whatever for 500,000. Because I'm thinking about you in your deepest, darkest moments. And by the way, this moment doesn't come fast, okay? It's a slow tick down, bang. It just won't give up, okay? Which is exactly what we saw. Haven't we seen that now? Look at this. Friends, we peaked in March. Look at this. We go down and down. Oh, down, down. Japan, Pokemon Island. You see that? That's how markets move, man. They just go down. Just stop, bam, bam. Look how many waves. Look how many waves. Okay, you're still drunk on the drugs, okay? You start to notice there's a difference here, okay? You're like, wait a minute, something's going on here. And then like bang, 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 bang. And then big news event gets everyone out. So that's why I don't want you to be sitting on euphoria on a squeaky chair, eating jelly beans, dreaming of, say, a $1 million number, and, you know, you're selling $80,000 because people... Friends, trust me, look. Who knows markets? I know markets. I know exactly what they're going to do. I know what the mid-curvers are going to do. I know what that hentai scum, that guy who always talks about getting circumcised on Twitter, I know what that guy's going to be tweeting. I know exactly... There is a guy like that, by the way. I know what they're all going to be tweeting when this move happens, Habib. I know exactly. If this happens, they're all, every single one of them, friends, because they're not long. They don't have spot altcoins, okay? These people, they do leverage trading. They're doing these shitty little scalps. They don't know how to make a 10x. They don't know how to make a 10x on their whole portfolio, okay? They got no idea. They don't have balls. They got little sultanas. You understand? They don't know where their wife's boyfriend is because he's taken her out, okay? Once this happens and we come down here, I promise you with every fiber of my being, every single person's going to say, the cycle is over. You hit 100K. There's meme coins and speculation. US economy's in a recession. They're always going to throw all of that. And it's going to be really freaking hard for you to be coming up watching your friend Sommi with another Pokemon hat telling you it could be over, but the bears can go and get trucked. I'm holding. Okay, it's going to be really hard. Even hard for myself just to say that, okay? So as you can see, friends, I'm here being part psychologist, part Dr. Phil, part Dr. Sommi, part Dr. Hexologist, helping you go through these now because you can't. You're not. You think you're going to be listening to your friend Sommi when this thing's happening? No. There's not going to be in this. And by the way, I won't even be listening to myself. I'll be going the astronaut suits, the helmets. We're going to have the green candles. We're going to be cranking every single type of song. That's what's going to be happening. So I've prepared you, right? Prepared you. Talking about the US economy, talking about rates, talking about all those. Okay, just forget them, okay? It's written in the stars, it's written in the charts. Think about it for yourself. Think about it for your friends, your family. That number it is, okay? You know, if I gave you a 10x and I took 80% of the way, what does that do to you? Okay, does 10x change your life? Okay, if 10x changes your life, maybe you should just retire. Maybe you should. Because you'll be able to survive anything else after that. But roll forward 24 months, if it does end up being not a bear market, but a super cycle continuation, you'll never forgive yourself, okay? Now, ultimately, it comes down probably to Bitcoin, okay? So this is in my mind, and I don't have all the answers, but in my mind, if PulseChain, for example, because I love PulseChain ecosystem, it's so easy to measure all these. It's great. It's too good to be. It's too transparent, right? If Bitcoin is 100K, that is what we're looking at. We're looking at Bitcoin 100K. That's our barometer. Do you want to get rid of all your altcoins at 100K Bitcoin? Okay. Even if you think, okay, Bitcoin could come back down to 70K because Bitcoin can do this, and in the midst of that, altcoins drop 80%. I just don't feel like selling altcoins at Bitcoin 100K after everything we've been through. I just don't feel like that's the end. All right. That's not a trap, friends. That's not the retailers get trapped buying. Okay. How could retailers get trapped? I don't know. Push it to 250K. And people will say, okay, we're never going under 100 again. And they'll say, we're going to flip gold next. Probably. Okay. But I'm working out these kinks. So maybe it might come down to me and you, right? You can do what you want. Of course, I'm just telling you, in my mind, if I see Bitcoin $250,000 in the next 6 to 12 months, okay, we got to get out. Okay, we got to get out. If we see that Bitcoin 250K, or even 200K, even like, man, I hope it doesn't hit 150, friends. I'm just thinking to my mind, don't give me 150. Give me either 100 or 200. So pretty much here. Let's actually draw it right now. Bitcoin at 100. Okay, we're sweet. Do not give me anything in here, otherwise up here. Okay, so we don't want to touch any. We don't want anything to land in there. That'll make it easier for us. That's why, man, it would have been nice if Bitcoin doesn't even 100 this year, man. It'd be really easy then. Imagine, friends, Bitcoin hits $94,000, which is still under 100, and then PulseChain hits 10x, and then drops 80%. It's going to feel pain, but you and I know, we didn't even hit 100K, buddy. You know, you're going to know psychologically. But I don't want to tempt the market for it to do that. Okay, you're learning as time goes on, right? Once again, please protect yourself, and you can protect yourself by like buying more. Okay, that's take profit stuff that might give you another year next year, all right? And yes, ultimately, I guess we've concluded together as we work this out. That's it, man. Okay, Bitcoin 100K, party's not over, but there's gonna be a convincing trap that it will say it's over. Bitcoin over 200K, party's over. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Our friendship is never over though. Catch you soon.